Hello everyone, my name is Jocelyn, and today I would like to discuss how the U.S. political system frustrates our ability to achieve greater happiness. So, my first claim would be that a more trustworthy government would be able to make our public or ourselves feel more at ease. My second claim would be that we lack the government programs that would enhance our quality of life. And my third claim being the way the government has built our social structure makes it harder for us to develop our personal relationships. So I'd like to start off with a few statistics from the Happiness Planet Index, which measures how well a nation performs which measures how well a nation is doing at achieving a long, happy, and sustainable life. So currently we rank 18th happiest, which is, and then last year we ranked 14th, so then our rank has dropped by 4. Our life expectancy is 78.8 years, which is lower than most wealthy countries. And then, so let's go to my first point. A trustworthy government can make a public feel more at ease. So that a lack of trust in our government can show how us as citizens can be less happy. So my first secondary claim would be that our trust in the government has waned over time. And Chapman University has done a survey and asked a random sample of more than 1,200 U.S. adults about their greatest fears. And their number one fear was the corrupt government officials, and following that was their constant worry of health problems and health care. Another survey was done by the 2019 Element Trust Barometer, and they revealed that people have shifted their trust to relationships that they can control more easily, and they put less trust into the media. So about 47% of the public trust the media. And seeing how fake news has been more prominent, the public, they, rather than trusting what the news is saying, that causes them to trust the government even less. And so with that, 1/3 of African Americans think that the police is corrupted, and then 7 out of 10 Americans think that the government is corrupted now. With that said, a corrupted government means that citizens feel less safe in their hands. My second point of this entire proposition would be that we lack the government programs that enhance our quality of life. Now, my first secondary claim for that would be that the government doesn't emphasize the importance of health and mental health. Seeing how our life expectancy is about 78.8 years, that's, as I said, is lower than most wealthy nations. Our ranking for our wealthy nations is around, I believe, 12th, and yet we're still relatively, their life expectancy is above 80. So then it would be important for us to develop newer programs that would help us get through our troubles. So there are 3 afflictions that produce lasting unhappiness that most people never adapt to. 1 is chronic depression, 2 is chronic pain, and 3 is sleep disorders. And all 3 of those are very underemphasized in our healthcare system. In order to negate that, perhaps the government can set up or improve mental health among students and try to implicate newer ways to make it more a prominent topic. And then my third claim my third claim to show that the U.S. political system frustrates our ability to achieve greater happiness is that social structure makes it more difficult for us to build our personal relationships. If you look at Denmark, they're #1 most happiest country currently. And then they offer their employees up to 52 weeks of leave for either mother or father. And then the state provides monetary support for up to 32 weeks. If you look at us, according to the Fair Labor Standards Act, employers are not required to pay for employees when they don't work. They only require employees to pay for time they do work, and they only have 10 weeks minimum for maternity leave. So that indicates how little emphasis families are put into developing their own relationships. How important it is for us to just work and spend our time making the money for the family. My second claim would be that it's important to balance work and personal relationships in order to maintain them. And then by doing that, we can probably provide better transportation system in order to shorten commute and to give employees more time to be with their family. There are other solutions to this problem that's been around, but I want to say that there is no correct way to measure happiness within a society, because the government can do one thing that will make some people happy, but other people unhappy. But to wrap it up, the U.S. political system frustrates our ability to achieve greater happiness, and I believe that, and my 3 claims to support that is that a trustworthy government can make the public feel more at ease. We lack the government programs to enhance our quality of life, and that the social structure the government has developed for us makes it more difficult to develop personal relationships. Thank you.
Okay, proposition's cleared. There's a layout of what the preview is. I think you rushed through it a little bit. The body of the speech, you have those main points, but boy, your secondary points, your minor points get a little bit confusing. The number of 2 points that you have under each point just was like, I was not sure where you were sometimes, and so you've kind of overcomplicated it. It needs to be simplified a little bit. There's a lot of data in the presentation about the U.S. ranking on certain kinds of things, and I think that's okay information. The relationship of some of these things to the things that you're talking about needs to be a little bit stronger. Sometimes it sounds like you're offering policy proposals as a way to solve these problems. That's not really appropriate for this particular assignment. At the end, though, it sounds like you're contradicting your whole point at the conclusion, where you say, well, whatever actions we take, somebody else is going to be unhappy as a consequence of that. And I'm going, well, then is it really our inaction that is producing these harms, or is it just our perception of these things that produces these harms? And I think that's a little bit of a problem for you. I'm rushing a little bit because I'm not exactly sure when the timer is going to go off, because I can't see the time. So I'm going to stop here.